Chapter 4 The Magnanimous Master of Miscellaneous Mannerisms. April 13th, 2:11 a.m. 80,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean, the Almagest, a colossal airship unlike any other, soars at a staggering velocity. Yet it glides effortlessly, its sleek design defying the conventional notions of flight. No visible wings or engines are apparent. Instead, it harnesses technology still unknown to the modern world. Inside the magnificent airship, a peculiar sight draws the eye. A rotary dial telephone resting on a modest nightstand beside a couch. The room itself is opulent, a chamber for a king. Yet the phone stands out as an ordinary relic amidst the futuristic surroundings. Its ringing disturbs the mid-flight silence, persisting in its urgency. A man lounging on the couch in his briefs and slippers pays no heed to the insistent call. He instead remains engrossed in a video game. Odom, known best as leader of a formidable military organization, revels in a virtual fighting game as the characters clash on a flickering CRT television, its volume turned up unnecessarily high. Really? Daredevil? You chose Devil. Bwahahahaha! Odom exclaims, his laughter filling the room. He refuses to wear a headset, opting to taunt his online opponent without restraint. Wait. Isn't he blind? Well, I guess you're just going to have to listen to this ass whooping I'm about to spoon feed you. No. You picked Daredevil, dumbass, retorts a preteen's voice from the game, his lisp evident in every other word. Odom's laughter abruptly stops. Wait, what? I'm Daredevil. What? There is a knock on the chamber door, interrupting their banter. On the other side, a high-ranking official carrying a tray with a single glass of orange juice hesitates. The luxurious tray contrasts with the simplicity of its contents. The official fears Odom's reaction to his interruption, but must deliver the beverage regardless. Steeling himself, he enters. Your breakfast, sir, the official says, trying to maintain composure. First off, I'm not your sir, page 14. And second, it's 2 a.m. Breakfast isn't for another 16 hours, Odom says. With all due respect, at the altitudes, speeds, and directions we've been traveling, what you associate as breakfast time has occurred 4 times already in the past 2 hours. Fine, just set it over there, Odom says dismissively, pointing to a nearby surface. Page 14. A high-ranking senior official overseeing a company of 100 men in Odom's military finds himself in an unexpected role as a waiter on this particular night. He occasionally serves Odom breakfast during their transcontinental flights, not out of obligation, but because Odom has served him breakfast more times than any dictator ever would to a member of their own organization. It being one example demonstrating Odom's tendency to go above and beyond for every department within his organization. Throughout the years, he has cooked for soldiers, waited tables, cleaned toilets, painted ship quarters, filed paperwork, ordered supplies, and even feigned sickness. His philosophy is simple: no superiors, no titles. Serving as his stance on military ranks for decades, though he is the only one who adheres to it. While some argue that an organization needs an established chain of command to function, Odom's approach serves as a deterrent to any nefarious acts. At any given moment, any one of his subordinates could attempt to usurp his position. The only problem for them is that Odom happens to be an exceptional fighter, an unmatched force. It is largely part of the reason why page 14 volunteers to be Odom's personal servant tonight. Following Odom's instructions, page 14 carries the tray and walks over to the nightstand Odom has indicated. Absent-mindedly, he positions himself in front of the television screen, obstructing his master's view of his game. Odom, typically level-headed, has developed a notoriously short fuse when it comes to video games or any other seemingly frivolous activity. He glares at the back of page 14's head, his gaze akin to that of a lion fixated on an oblivious zebra intruding on his territory. Unaware of the storm brewing, page 14 confidently places the glass of orange juice on the nightstand next to the persistently ringing telephone. "You have a phone call, sir," page 14 informs Odom, reminding him of something he already knows. "I am not your sir," Odom snaps. "Who is it?" It appears to be the President of the United States." "Tell him I'll call him back." Knowing full well that such words are unlikely to be uttered when the President of the United States contacts someone, page 14 cannot help but mention, "But he says it's urgent." Teetering on the edge of a full-blown psychotic meltdown, Odom musters what little sanity remains within him to pierce page 14 with a glare capable of melting an iceberg had his eyes been lasers. This time, page 14 realizes that his master is upset. In a rush of panic, he immediately bows his head. "Oh, forgive me. I sincerely apologize, sir." Before he can deliver his expression of regret in full, Odom's rage peaks. Unbeknownst to page 14, his well-intentioned gesture has ignited the fuse of Odom's anger. While Odom typically respects genuine mistakes and subsequent atonement, page 14 has amassed a series of mishaps that surpass any chance of redemption. The time has come for him to face the consequences of his actions. The single syllable uttered by page 14 triggers Odom's divine retribution. The controller slips from Odom's grasp, its snug hold loosening as it tumbles, landing with a resounding thud on the plush carpet beneath. The collision between hard plastic and expensive fibers reverberates through the room, the sound punctuating the tense atmosphere. The room becomes stifling, the weight of an imminent storm palpable in the air. Odom's face contorts with rage, his eyes igniting like twin infernos. He rises from his seat, his imposing frame casting a formidable shadow over page 14, who instinctively retreats, his heart racing within his chest. Like a panther pouncing on an unsuspecting foal, Odom leaps towards the glass of orange juice, snatching it from his tray. With the precision of a professional quarterback ready to throw a pass to a wide receiver, he cocks back his arm. His voice carries a tone that will startle even the gods, resonating with the fury of Ares himself.
"Did I tell you not to call me sir?"
he bellows, the force of his words shaking the air around him. With a swift motion, he hurls the innocent beverage across the room. The glass wobbles through the air, its trajectory appearing as if a 4-year-old threw it in a tantrum before colliding with an ornate bookcase. Orange juice splatters across the shelves, seeping into the pages of ancient tomes, and the glass shatters upon impact against the door's edge. Page 14, narrowly avoiding the projectile aimed at his head, hurries and makes his exit. On the other side of the door, a platoon of soldiers stand in perfect formation along the hallway walls, their presence a common sight aboard the Almagest whenever Odom is present. While their synchronized display might seem ludicrous to outsiders, it is a testament to the security measures in place and the respect Odom commands. There was a time when seeing a platoon of fully armed soldiers dressed in tactical gear juxtaposed with Odom donning nothing but Speedos and flip-flops on a beach would have elicited laughter. However, the beauty of the Almagest's surroundings and Odom's influence prevent such amusement from surfacing amongst those within his organization. One official, who has likely experienced a similar fate, approaches page 14 with genuine concern etched on his face. "You're safe now," the official says, his voice gentle. I dropped my cloak, 62, page 14 stammers. He almost killed me!" In Odom's organization, all officials are required to wear cloaks and ribbons signifying their rank and class. It is a rule they have established themselves, rather than one imposed by their master. Strangely enough, despite their ability to bend or break these rules without severe consequences, they live in constant fear of provoking Odom's disapproval. The official who offers his reassurance understands this unspoken tension and seeks to alleviate page 14's distress. Don't worry, his aim is terrible. You were never truly in danger, the official assures page 14. He turns to the stoic soldiers lined in the hallway, and all 29 of them nod in agreement. Odom returns to his sofa. He begrudgingly picks up the fallen controller from the rug, only to discover that his character has been defeated during his absence. Matthew, no! He exclaims. You will pay for this travesty, Big Cal 350. Just as he is about to initiate a new match to exact his revenge, an incoming call flashes on his screen, adding further annoyance to his despondence. Before he can decide whether to answer, a young woman appears on the screen, her presence covering most of his view. Aren't you going to answer that? She asks, her voice carrying a mix of grace and impertinence. You answer it, Saren. Odom responds dryly, his attention fixed on the game. But he wants to talk to you. Saren, you're in the way. Tell him I'm busy. You want me to tell the President of the United States that you're busy, playing video games, in your underwear, on a 49-year-old television. Saren, you're going to make me lose, and you know I never lose. Just take the call and see what he wants. Ugh, fine, Odom snaps. Are you done? No. What are we doing about this asteroid problem? Soon there will be boulders raining down all around us. Odom's body and head move erratically in response to his character's actions on screen. Can't you handle it? By myself? I cannot. Cannot or won't not. Destroying hundreds of meteors falling from space is a little outside my skill set. Saren responds matter-of-factly, evoking an inaudible sigh from Odom. How long? He asks. 192 minutes. Wow, really? You couldn't just say 5 hours? 3. Saren terminates the video feed, and Odom finishes his last match before promptly answering the president's call. Good morning, Mr. President. What can I do for you today? Odom asks. The president, aware of Odom's indispensable value despite his eccentricities, cannot help but acknowledge the insincerity behind the dramatic facade. Destroy some meteors? Is that all? No, don't be ridiculous. That shouldn't be a problem at all, sir. Where? Russia. No. You mean actual war? Isn't that a bit dramatic? Ha! Don't be silly. I'll be more than happy to, Mr. President. Say no more. I'll take care of it, sir. As the conversation between the President of the United States and the warlord of the most advanced military in the world, Chapter 5, unfolds, the screen displaying Odom's online gaming record becomes fully visible. The counter reveals an accumulated 2020 losses with 0 wins.